the result that we wanted tonight and, the goal that we had in mind for our season. But it's by no means all negative. I think that, especially for a lot of the young guys, like, it's a really good learning experience. It's tough to win in the playoffs. It's tough to, play in these Game 7. I know it's Game 5, but it's, win or go home. And I think, playing in these sort of games is the only way that you get comfortable playing in these games and knowing what it takes. So, it stings and it will sting for a while. And I think we have such an incredible group of guys and young talent. And you know what, but that's hockey at the end of the day.
Yeah, so the team also, lost to Abbotsford last season to be eliminated from the playoffs. What makes them so difficult to play against?
Yeah, well, you can see, every game we had the series was an absolute war, and they play physical and they have the skill, to make plays in tight areas, and it's just we knew it was going to be our biggest test. They gave us problems all year, and the Game 2 was the first time we won in Abbotsford this year, so we knew going into it was going to be a great test. We thought we were up to it, and we fell one game short, and it stings, but there's a lot of positives to take from this, especially for guys that are coming back here next year.
So you do have another year with the Eagles so far, on the schedule. What are you hoping to see the team do to build on what they've already accomplished?
Yeah, it was a historic season in a lot of different ways, and at the end of the day, we didn't get the ultimate goal. So I think the message for guys that are going to be coming in here as free agents or guys that are coming back is, our expectation is to win, and that's how we're going to treat every day and approach every practice, is with a championship mentality. And I think that's what this organization is all about.
This is probably the most loaded team that you've had since the last time you were on the team. What made this team so much more special than the last time you were here?
I don't know if it's more special. I think that our group had such great veteran leadership. I think Jacob McDonald, Chris Wagner, and TJ Tynan, like they made my job so easy. The leadership that we had in the room, everyone was speaking up, saying things, whether it was, the guys that were wearing letters, or even, Matthew Phillips stepping up in the room, whose guy's been around a long time. And I really commend those guys. They did an excellent job all year, on and off the ice, and the messaging that they brought to the team, the guys that have won before at this level, and I think that they just prepared our young guys. Made sure that they're executing every day in practice. The little things, the details that it takes to, finish first in the Pacific Division and get a home ice advantage. And, the way that we played at home, we felt, if we had an elimination game on home ice, that, that was going to be, be able to go in our favor. And tonight, it just, we had a couple really, really good chances early that, Sea Loves played great. They just didn't go in, and that was the nature of the beast.
And then you've now played with the Eagles under two coaches, with Coach Cronin and with Coach Sneekloth, even though Coach Sneekloth was in the system before. What was the major difference in their coaching style?
There are a lot of similarities. Obviously, Schneek's learned a lot from Crow, and Crow's a great coach. And, I think that just the attention to detail, the execution in practice, hockey's fun, but when it's time to work, it's time to work. And I think that was the message that, Schneek's really drove home this year and got the most out of his guys. I think that, we had so many guys step up, young guys and older guys. You look at Ty Fellhaber and the season that he had, it was just incredible, and guys that had career years. And I just think that, the way that he approached every day, the way that, he would give the older guys the rest when they needed it. He was able to manage, the schedule and the season. Sometimes it can be a grind, and, he was very open to conversation of what the players needed, and I think he excelled at that.
And who would you say, of course, other than yourself, would be the MVP of the team this year?
Well, I wouldn't say myself. I'd certainly say, it's hard to not to say Jacob McDonald after breaking, the single season record. He was an absolute crucial part to our team and our power play, and he had some big hits, and I think he just kind of did it all this year. And for a guy that breaks a record that's set for quite a long time, that's quite an impressive accomplishment.
Most improved, in your opinion, this year?
Most improved. Well, I love the way that Ty Fellhaber played this year. I think he was a guy that maybe they didn't know what they were going to get when they signed him, and ends up playing, with myself and Matthew Phillips and having a monster year. And he played, in the second power play, and he was out there with me on the penalty kill. And I just think he excelled and raised his game in every facet. And, he was a big part of our chemistry in our locker room. Like, he's such a great glue guy. And we just fed off of his energy a lot of times, quite honestly, and really proud of the year that he put together.